guys, and welcome to a Nintendo Switch unboxing. I originally didn't intend on picking up a Switch, and technically I still didn't really pay for this one. I didn't steal it. Basically, I purchased something to upgrade something that I already owned, and my friend was going to sell me his Switch for a decent price, and was also looking for the thing that I was upgrading, so I gave him my hand-me-down item, and he gave me his Switch, so we kind of traded, and it saved us both a bit of money. So he kept it in very good condition. Original box, original wrapping on the Switch itself, and all the accessories included. And I got some other goodies with it. So it was a fairly good trade for both of us, I think. So I sort of wanted to whip it out and have a look at it with you guys. Talk about some games and just have a look at what it has to offer. I think I'll have to possibly turn it side on so we can see what we're looking at here. Oh, it's not too bad. So we have the Switch tablet itself and the two Joy-Cons. I'm not a huge neon colour fan, so I would have preferred just like regular grey or black Joy-Cons, but I'm not even sure if you can get those. So we have a blue one for left and a red one for right. A, B, X, Y. Two joysticks. And on the left we have up, down, left, right. And this button here is a capture button, which I accidentally found out taking garbage screenshots of the menu. And the cool thing about these controllers is you can hold them like this if you want to play a two-player game, and just dock the tablet on your TV so you can have two players playing at the same time. Personally, if I was going to play multiplayer games on it, I'd probably look to get an extra controller and use these as just one. So I'll put these to the side. so we can grab out the main event. I love this foam stuff. It's not unpleasant to touch like polystyrene. It's not too loud like plastic. So this is the Switch tablet itself. It's quite the clean screen. It's got a screen saver on it already. I think my friend put that on. Very reflective, as you can see. The screen is a little bit smaller than I thought it originally was. I thought it was about the size of an iPad, but it's more like just a bit larger than a PSP. But we slide in the Joy-Cons like this till it clicks. And that one on that side. And now we're ready to play. So we've got the bumper buttons as well. This is the back if you're interested. It's got a little stand here that flips out. So it sort of supports itself on the desk. It's also got a, I assume that's a stand. It also has a slot for a micro SD card here for data storage, I'm assuming. And it is a touch screen, but there's no stylus that comes with it, I don't think. It's got its own proprietary charging port, which is a nuisance because it means I have yet another charger to store somewhere. And before we turn it on, let's have a look at what else was in the box. So we have the dock. So this is the front and this is the back, and it's got a little flap here where you plug in the power cord, USB, which I'm not sure what that's for exactly, and HDMI out, so you plug this part into your TV and then you run the cables out this gap here and close that up, and it's some very nice cable management. The switch itself slides in here. It's a very small gap, so I'm kind of worried about scratching the screen at some stage, but hopefully the screen protector does its job. So that's the dock. I have played with it a bit. I had to set it up with my own settings, change the username and the me and account and all that. And so I've had a little look at what it looks like on the dock, and it's not too bad. It is a bit upscaled, but honestly I didn't get it to play as a console really. It's more of a handheld for me. So this is sort of the default grip that you get, that you can put the Joy-Cons in, and it makes a little controller. It's pretty comfy. comfy as far as the grips go on the side of your hands. I've heard a lot of people like the Pro controller. I haven't felt the need to purchase one just yet. I'm sure I might get into it if I start playing Zelda or Metroid Prime a lot. And over here we just have HDMI cable, power cable, and what I assume are like bumpers, protectors for the Joy-Cons when you're using them as standalone controllers. The Joy-Cons definitely like slide into it, and I'm assuming these are like button aids. So I think it's kind of like the Wii controller wrist strap that you probably put on when you're playing games like 1-2 Switch and stuff, where you have to sort of fling the Joy-Con. That made a nice noise. Why isn't this going back in? Put him back nicely, just in case I ever have to trade it for something. And we'll move this out of the way. Just looking at the specs on the box here. It says 32 gigs total system storage, some of which reserved for system data, expandable via micro SD card. So I think it's like the 3DS's, which I bought a big micro SD card for because those games eat up a lot of data. But let's have a look at the Switch itself. Hopefully the volume's not up. It is a little bit, but not too much. There we go. So when you first turn it on, you're greeted by this sort of home screen with featured news, the time, your Wi-Fi, and sort of the last thing you're doing, I believe. So I've got the dark theme on, which I think is quite nice. And yeah, we have The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This is the demo for Disgaea 5. I've heard people talking about it a lot. I've never played Disgaea, but it seems pretty good. So I decided to give the demo a try. I haven't played it yet. This is Graceful Explosion Machine, and that's a shoot 'em up. And this is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So my friend, basically what happened was he bought the Switch with Legend of Zelda, then sort of marathoned Breath of the Wild to the point where he got sick of it and the Switch itself. Then he bought Mario Kart 8 and played that for a few weeks, months even. But he's more interested in the item that I traded him for, which I am sort of keeping secret until the next video. played Breath of the Wild on the Switch yet. I have played Graceful Explosion Machine. It's very fun. My friend Joe One Up actually sort of got me onto it by talking about it so lovingly, I guess, positively on Twitter. So I was like, it's pretty cheap, I'm going to check it out. And I really enjoy it so far. So I'm going to check out some more of his recommendations because he seems to have pretty good taste. As far as comfortability, you sort of never really, I haven't really used this stick on this side of the screen in any of the games that I've played yet. You might use it in Zelda to aim, I'd imagine. It sort of feels like the same problem that the 3DS had, where the D-pad was down too low on the original 3DS, and so it sort of gave you bad hand cramps if you had to use it. But I'd imagine it's not too bad. So, as you can see, I'm not great at Graceful Explosion Machine. I've only got 1 S+ rank and 2 S ranks. The rest are A's and B's. But basically, you have weapons, and you have this little orange ship, and you have to use your various weapons to try and fight off your attackers while keeping up your combo, not running out of, not letting your main gun overheat or running out of power-up ammo or getting hit like I just did. So it's pretty fun. It's kind of like, it does take some skill, which I have by no means acquired yet, but it's also not that intense or frustrating. Every sort of loss is your own fault, and I never feel cheated. And I've been having a fair bit of fun with it. Just it's sort of a time waster. It's pretty short. I think there's only the same amount of ammo here, so I have to just use my regular gun for a bit. Yeah, sort of just like picking up and playing it while I'm waiting for other things to happen, that kind of thing. So that's pretty fun. And Mario Kart 8, doesn't seem to be a whole lot of differences between the Wii U version and this version, which I nearly completed the Wii U version completely, so I probably wouldn't have bought this if I had picked up the Switch myself, but I'm not going to pass up a free game. And in the odd event that I do get bored with this, I can always trade it towards something else that I would like Metroid Prime or a Pokemon or a Mario or something that I don't already have. So speaking of games coming for the Switch, I sort of did some research on what was coming out. The biggest sort of selling point for picking up his Switch and confirming the trade was missed it completely, was the announcement for Metroid Prime 4. I love the Metroid series. I have the Metroid Prime trilogy on Wii. I haven't completed it before, but I love playing those games. They're very well made. I had Prime Hunters on Nintendo DS, which was a pretty difficult game, actually. So yeah, once I saw Metroid Prime 4 announced, I was like, yeah, that kind of seals the deal. Like, I'll trade you for your Switch. So I'm looking forward to that coming out. Hopefully it meets or exceeds expectations, even though it's being made by a different group, I believe, this time. But I feel like Nintendo will want to do one of their main IPs movies justice, so it should be pretty well made, I think. Other notable titles that I saw that were coming out were Cave Story Plus. I don't know whether I'll actually pick that up, because when I got it on PC, I did enjoy it, but I'm not sure that I would, play it on a console. I feel like it wasn't that long of a game, and I didn't get an early ending as far as I know or anything. I know there are a lot of endings in that game, but I feel like having the physical copy of Cave Story, assuming it comes out as a physical copy, would be pretty cool. And it'd just be like a neat little game to have in my collection more than anything. Plus, it's by no means a bad game. It's just I think I missed some of the hype that other people seem to get for it. So if it's a decent price, I might pick that up. These 50cc races are quite dull once you've done the 200 and mirrored and all that. Good for coin farming, and that's about it, I think. Although the faster ones are probably better for coin farming since you'll drive faster. Continuing on, Ocean Horn looks pretty good. I would rather get Ocean Horn on, say, PC or Xbox or something, because it looks a lot like Zelda, and while that's a good thing because I love Zelda games, I don't really want a Zelda-like on a console that I can have Zelda on. Even though it looks like a fantastic game, it also reminds me a lot of Wind Waker, which isn't really my favourite Zelda. So Ocean Horn looks pretty interesting, but I don't think I'll pick it up. Especially just because, the ocean isn't my favourite setting for games. So, with the exception of, say, those two Zelda games, which I tolerate, and Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Stardew Valley is making an appearance, I believe, which, again, I've got on PC and haven't played yet. Oops, missed it that time as well. Haven't quite got the boost timing down. I haven't played Stardew Valley yet because I feel like I'll get hooked on it and sink a lot of time into it, and I don't want to get lost, basically, in the cyberspace. But I've been meaning to do some sort of Stardew Valley content for the channel. Maybe I'll play it in streams where it's a bit easier to dedicate some time to, and I don't have to edit it so much or anything like that. I can just sort of chill and play and learn as I'm going. But I feel like it would be insane on the Switch just because of basically Harvest Moon portable, but not Game Boy Color graphics, which I think will be pretty fantastic. So again, depends how much it is when it comes out, and depends if I've been buying anything else recently. A physical copy of it would be pretty sick, but I doubt they would have a physical copy for it. Probably cost too much to manufacture. The Breath of the Wild DLC is still coming out, and I think it's $30, so I'll definitely be picking that up if I ever get more than a quarter of the way, or an eighth of the way through the game. That'll be fun to play. What else? Super Mario Odyssey. I like the look of it. It seems pretty cool. I haven't played the Mario games as much as of late, just because, I don't know, they don't hold my attention as much as they used to. That was a very well-timed shell, and I might lose this race now. Especially if this blue shell hits me. Awesome. At least I got this guy in as well. Alright, should be good now. No red shell incoming. Does anyone else want to take a hit while we're at it? Kick me while I'm down. Make me lose in the last second. So yeah, the Breath of the Wild DLC should be pretty cool. Then, oh no, we're talking about Super Mario. Yeah, Mario Odyssey will be something I keep an eye on as well. See if we pick that up at some point, maybe. Then Metroid Prime 4, I'm definitely picking up. I can't wait to see what it's about, and I can't wait to see Samus in, current gen or next gen graphics and setting and everything. I just love the lore and the world building in the Metroid Prime games. Why did I just fall off there? That's great. I got the boost and everything and he just fell off. Instead of jumping over it. Thanks, I guess. Okay, I've got the auto drive on as well. Keep having to turn that off. Ukulele is apparently meant to make an appearance on the Switch. My housemate got that on PS4 and hasn't played it yet. And I've also heard that it's sort of missing that Banjo-Kazooie charm that it tries very hard to get. So I'm not sure if I pick it up or not. It seems like it'd be pretty fun for handheld. And maybe if I lower my expectations going in, it won't be so bad. Like, I don't think it's awful, but I think it's just a bit grindy and a bit of a collectathon. And yeah, it just tries too hard to be Banjo-Kazooie when it's not actually Banjo-Kazooie, I'm not sure. I'll have to play it and form my own opinion. Just going off what I've heard other people say so far. We have the Untitled Yoshi game. Seems like it could be pretty interesting. Usually I don't pick up the Yoshi or the Kirby games because they look a bit too, I don't want to say juvenile, but just I'm not the target audience. I did enjoy Yoshi's Woolly World though, which I haven't finished yet. So, I'm assuming it'll be good. I'm not guaranteed to buy it though. It's just sort of if nothing else is coming out for a while, maybe I'll pick up Yoshi, I think there's an Untitled Fire Emblem announced for it. I would consider getting the Fire Emblem for this. It's probably more likely going to be one of the games I get as opposed to, say, Yoshi or Stardew Valley. Because I do like those games, but I'm not very good at them. And it takes me ages to play them. Awakenings was my first one, and I'm still maybe halfway through that. But I imagine the graphics will be insane on the Switch, so it'd be pretty good to pick that up, I think. Other than that, I think there's a Shin Megami Tensei, which is pretty cool. It's kind of like Pokemon, except instead of having little monsters, you have demons in your party, and you can talk to them and fuse them and all this kinds of stuff. They're very difficult JRPGs I've got one on. I think I've got Shin Megami Tensei 4 on. I'm also probably pronouncing that incorrectly. I have it on 3DS, and that's a massive game from what I understand. And I've barely scratched the surface, so that's very intimidating. And then finally, of course, the Pokemon RPG for the Switch that's supposed to have been announced. I didn't really hear it myself. If it's a mainline Pokemon game, I'll definitely pick it up, probably. I don't think I'm going to get Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon. I just don't like those worlds enough to sort of go back to them already when I haven't finished it. Yeah, I'd like to think if it's a main series Pokemon game, then I'd probably pick it up. If it's a spin-off, I usually don't pick those up. Unless they're like really good ones like Super Mystery Dungeon and such. But definitely the ones I'm most looking forward to are Metroid Prime 4 and probably Mario Odyssey. I'm also looking forward to playing Breath of the Wild on this, so I can sort of continue the videos on the Wii U version and then play the Switch one at my own leisure. And which is the biggest problem, because if I want to play Breath of the Wild, then I have to film it, but I don't always feel like filming, which is why I'm so far behind in it. So it'd be good to have sort of the Switch version, which I can pick up and actually just play by myself, and then have the Wii U version for doing videos. Other than that, there's not really a lot coming out for the Switch yet that I'm sort of interested in. ARMS I'm not really into. This auto drive thing is terrible. It doesn't let you pick the path that you want to drive. In fact, I can turn it off. There we go. Nah. Lost my shell and got hit by lightning. I'm hoping they do an Etrian Odyssey actually. I love those games, and I can only imagine what the Switch is capable of in terms of Etrian Odyssey games. That'd be fantastic, I think. I'd really like to see some sort of Captain Toad Treasure Tracker sequel, or spin-off, or port even, for the Switch. I'd definitely get that. Looking forward to, hopefully the Virtual Console comes out at some stage. I'd love to play some classics like Link to the Past, which I've still never finished. I'd love to play actually Majora's Mask on this, or even Ocarina of Time, which I've played like a billion times, but I really want to play Majora's Mask. And Earthbound, I'd love to play Earthbound on this. And maybe like Twilight Princess or something. But apart from that, I'm not really sure. So far, I really hope that they have a larger selection of like first-party Nintendo games in development for the Switch. I feel like the Wii U didn't have a ton of like must-haves, so I only ended up with about 6 or 7 games for it, whereas like back in the day I had like every other PS2 game because they were all fantastic. And then like the Wii U's life cycle just felt really short, so I was pretty disappointed with that. But just as the last thing I wanted to show you, my friend also had this carry case for the Switch, which is very nice, stiff. Textured case with a nice zip. It's a very chunky zip. And yeah, he definitely gave me a very good deal. He gave me Breath of the Wild and Mario Kart 8 with the Switch. We have the classic Breath of the Wild wallpaper and the tiny little game card. wraps up this Switch unboxing today. I hope you enjoyed the quiet rambles and the nice unboxing sounds and the nice controller sounds and the nice zipping sounds. Let me know if you guys picked up a Switch, what games you're looking forward to, what games you've been playing. And hopefully we all get our money's worth for Nintendo's newest handheld console. Personally, I think I'm about to go play some Graceful Explosion Machine, try and get some more S ranks, beat my higher scores. But I'd like to thank you for joining me for this ASMR unboxing video, and I've still got one more pretty cool unboxing video coming up this week, so stay tuned for that, and I hope to see you next time.